Have you ever thought about how to make your meals easier and more flavorful? Well, if you want to step up your cooking game, then today's tip is for you. Marinate your meat before you freeze it. Your freezer is more than just a place to store food. It's a powerful ally for meal prep and saving time when you're in a pinch. Imagine this. When you marinate chicken, beef, pork, or fish and then freeze it, you're streamlining your cooking process. No more juggling multiple steps or messy prep work during busy weeknights. Instead, you can pull that perfectly marinated protein directly from the freezer and toss it into the oven. It's just that simple. Now let's talk about why freezing your meat in a marinade is so effective. When you take frozen meat out of the freezer, it's typically a solid block that doesn't allow marinades to cling properly. But what happens when you freeze your protein in marinade? That mixture adheres beautifully to the meat. The marinade not only becomes part of the meat, but since it's frozen around the outside, you'll have a burst of flavor locked in when you cook it. For added convenience, consider using oven-safe containers. This way, you can place the entire dish directly into the oven without any additional fuss. But even if you prefer to thaw your meat first, don't worry. As it defrosts, it will marinate, enhancing the taste even more with minimal effort. Plus, it keeps you from handling raw meat too much, making meal prep a bit cleaner and easier. Now that we've covered how effective marinade freezing can be, let's look into some important considerations. Not all ingredients freeze the same way. Certain marinades consist of ingredients that can become unappetizing when frozen. Getting the balance right is key. Certain ingredients like citrus juices can lose their brightness, while dairy-based marinades might not stand up well to freezing. It's best to choose marinades that include oil, vinegar, and spices. These tend to maintain their flavors and textures, ensuring you'll have a delightful meal later on. So now you've got some great reasons to start marinating before you freeze. Your meals can go from mundane to magnificent, and you can save yourself time during the week. Imagine tossing that marinated chicken right into the oven after a long day, knowing it's going to be bursting with flavor. In conclusion, make marinating a step in your meal prep routine. You'll not only save time, you'll also maximize flavor and enjoy cooking more than ever. The next time you're stocking up on protein, remember to grab your favorite marinade and freeze it for future culinary adventures. Your taste buds will thank you. Let's dive into how to make the most of your marinades while freezing. Not all ingredients are suitable for the freezer, and it's essential to know which ones to avoid. For instance, using mayonnaise as a marinade might seem tempting, especially for chicken or salmon, but freezing it can lead to undesirable rubbery textures when reheated. Instead, consider using an olive oil-based marinade, which holds up better against the icy temperatures. Add a little flair by incorporating aromatic herbs like fresh rosemary, sage, and thyme. Not only do these herbs withstand freezing well, but they also enhance the flavor of your dishes once thawed. When it comes to other marinade options, recipes based on broth, soy sauce, or balsamic vinegar are excellent pairings for beef. This is especially true for cuts like chuck steak, or when you're preparing a comforting meal like goulash. These flavor-packed marinades not only enrich your meat but also make reheating a breeze. As we explore aromatics, it's important to note that certain ingredients such as peppercorn, garlic, and paprika may change in flavor when frozen. However, don't let that deter you from using them in your marinades. If you plan to cook your meat within 4 months, those flavors will still shine through. Just keep in mind that once you hit the 6-month mark, the taste may become stronger than intended. If you're concerned about leaving your meat in a marinade for too long, don't fret. Freezing halts the marinating process, which means your meat will continue to soak in that delicious flavor as it defrosts and bakes. This is a handy tip to remember when prepping your proteins for the weeks ahead. So, whether you're preparing for a busy week or just want to ensure you have tasty options ready at hand, Mastering the art of marinades is key. From choosing the right ingredients to understanding the freezing process, you are now equipped to make meals that are not only convenient but also bursting with flavor. Enjoy your cooking journey and remember, the right marinade can transform an ordinary meal into an extraordinary feast.